Hey yo, what up? Going on? What's good? Realist One, Slide Accordingly, Mr. Slide Accordingly. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, support a real one. What's going on? What's the deal? When you analyze the majority of these stories and reasons related to why men end up locked up and or dead, it seems to me that somewhere in the mix, for the most part, you can count on one thing, that there was a woman involved some way, somehow. Pay attention to a lot of these stories, a lot of these predicaments, a lot of these tragedies, right? Because it don't necessarily mean the woman in the situation did anything. She probably was just being a woman. Yeah, half the time a woman can actually play the role of the person who kicked things off to end up where they ended up. But sometimes it's just a woman being the woman, and the other half of the time it's the men in the situation that are the reason for why things got to where they're at. Because let's face it, a man's pride and emotion is one of the most dangerous combinations known to man. No pun intended. Like, men are territorial. We want to protect what we claim is ours. Respectfully. But it's like, where does that end exactly? And how do you go about it while being in the right and not risking your freedom or your life without jumping to a conclusion that don't end up good for nobody involved? No, these people in these situations, they don't be thinking about that. The worst thing to me is to see a situation escalate. As a man personally, the worst thing is always to see two men have a situation and the woman was the common denominator. Somebody got to have some damn sense. You understand? It's cringeworthy when I see these type of predicaments. I usually try to put myself in the moment to get a view of that other person's perspective, just to get a fair assessment of where their mind was at the time. But this right here, nah. So in Florida, this dude named Anthony, his lady, and their 1-year-old went into a Walgreens. Same time, this other dude named Jamie was already in the store. He was putting money on his Cash App card. He was handling his business. It was around 11 a.m. You know what I mean? Day getting started. It wasn't even 12 o'clock yet. Now, this part could have some truth to it, because let's face it, it don't matter if a woman is with another man. Sometimes a complete random dude might still be eyeing her, checking her out, even if he's not sure that the dude who the woman is with is related to her, or is that her man. Some fools don't care enough to even find out. It be ignorant like that. Like, we don't know at first, but once you come to understand, okay, that is her man, that's when you move on. You understand? Certain men see things, see something they like, they don't know how to control themselves. They don't know how to keep their eyes in their head. They don't know how to keep it in their pants. And they act like there ain't no such thing as repercussions behind that. Ain't nobody untouchable. Y'all got to quit that, because it's like, first and foremost, you know damn well if it was you and yours, you would want that courtesy. But I digress. Anthony confronts Jamie because, according to Anthony, Jamie was staring at his girl. He thought he was looking too hard, so he confronts him. Now, they exchange a few words and Anthony walks away. Now, as Anthony walks away, this is where the jump into the conclusions I was talking about really comes into play. Because when Anthony walked away, Jamie gets on the phone. He's having a conversation, but see, Anthony mistakes him talking on the phone for a comment towards him as he's walking away. So as he's walking away, the guy's on the phone, he hears him. He's like, what? It's one of them. Right? Tough guy 101. So what does Anthony do? He confronts Jamie again. This time it gets a little bit more intense. Jamie say to him, I'm not even talking to you. I'm on the mother phone. Right? The girlfriend told the police later on that she remembered hearing those words exactly. Now they start going back and forth. Anthony, I guess, didn't see the fact that Jamie had a phone in his hand to acknowledge the man was talking on the phone. Them emotions, boy, I'm telling you. Maybe he didn't even want to. It could be he heard what he wanted to hear. He already felt like the man disrespected him to the fullest. He already felt like, you really gonna look at me and my girl. Here it is. We trying to handle our business early in the morning. I'm with my little man, and all that. You really gonna disrespect me like that? That's how he was looking at it. Now, these two dudes going back and forth, and Anthony sees that Jamie has a gun tucked. 11 a.m., not even noon. And he sees that this man has a gun tucked. He says, I see you got one. I got one too. Allegedly, that's what was said. So Jamie felt like him saying that was his cue to pull the gun out. Probably feeling, well, I best pull mine out before he does his. Before this fool already do. Because he hyped over his lady. And seemingly, it's no reasoning with this man. He pulls it out, but he doesn't pull the trigger right away. At least not until Anthony ends up reaching for his bag. Now that's when Jamie shoots the gun. And he shoots Anthony right in front of his girl and his 1-year-old. Pow, he takes off out the Walgreens. 1-year-old right there saw this whole thing happen. Watched his father get shot, dropped to the floor, all of that. Jamie does end up turning himself in later on. And he told police he felt like, without a doubt, in his mind, it would have been him if he wouldn't have shot first. It was him or me, is what he's saying. He ends up getting charged with second-degree murder, held without bail, and Anthony passes away. From the gunshot. You know what I mean? Your whole life can change under less than 2 minutes. All it takes is a little emotion, one action, and a hint of assumption. Don't let that go over your head. And it don't even have to be in that order. What's really messed up is Anthony's moms was dealing with cancer, right? And that had put a financial strain on the fam. So when that happened to him, it didn't make things no better. Not to mention Anthony was just getting ready to celebrate his B-Day the following Monday. His pop said that. Lost his life days before his birthday. 27 years old. Wasn't even 30 yet. Matter of fact, Jamie, the one who shot him, was only a year older than him. So let's see what we got here. End result. One man dead, the other man locked up, 1-year-old without his pops, mother now a single mother, and 2 families both lose a son. R.I.P. to that man. R.I.P. to that man. But at that age, we got to understand. It's a smoother way to handle things, especially when you got your kid and girlfriend with you. That don't mean but don't protect them. Just weigh out your options a little better, especially when he seen that old boy had that thing on him. You want to know the worst part about it? This is the worst part about this to me. It was never even 100% confirmed that man was looking at his girl, bro. It seemed like Anthony was just on that type of time where nobody could tell him nothing. And honestly, condolences to that man's family, his baby, and all of that. But with that energy, I really think it was only a matter of time before something like that happened. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest. There's a lot of Anthony's walking around here. R.I.P. to that man, though. He didn't deserve it. It's that word pride. Also, it be the person that looks like they're being backed into a corner that could be the most dangerous one in the situation. Folks forget that because you're leaving them with no choice. You're literally forcing them to respond. A scared mother. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like a scared person. Ain't nothing like a scared man or a scared woman. Just plain a scared human being is dangerous. Leaving them to respond, like I always say, accordingly. Jamie wasn't even the aggressor in the situation. When y'all be trying to intimidate these other dudes, try and remember ain't nothing scarier than a scared person. It's just human nature. At that point, it was survival, according to him. Maybe the brother was insecure, because there are a lot of men who are insecure when it come to their lady. And that's something we got to work on too, man. You know what I mean? Maybe leave her in the house, you do the shopping. Or don't be in a relationship. I'm being real. You know, there's a lot of dudes that's insecure about their lady. You ain't got no business being with her if you got to act a fool like that. Because somebody going to end up getting hurt sooner or later for damn sure. I admit, nobody want another man drooling over their chick. I know I wouldn't. But emotion, assumption, and pride is any man's worst enemy. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Leave your thoughts, comments, opinions. Realest one, I'm gone. Hey, yo, what up? Going on? What's good? Realest one, Slide Accordingly. Mr. Slide Accordingly. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, support a real one.